At my house, I like to have old things around me. I find them at op shops, in the bush, and sometimes people give me stuff. My favourite ones are Albert Namatjira prints that have lots of sky and land. I have shells that remind me of the sea and old coloured bottles. There is a clock that ticks, an AM radio with a brown vinyl cover, and an old dresser with a big round mirror. I like having these things around me because it reminds me of living in the country when I was a kid. When I was small, I lived at my grandpa's dairy farm in Carrum Downs, near the beach. There was me and my two sisters, my mum and dad, and my grandparents lived down the road with my uncle. I remember being outside heaps and having freedom and space. There were paddocks with short green or long brown grass and a whole lot of sky. The dogs barked when cars came down the dirt road, and cows were always slowly wandering around. I used to hang out in my nana's kitchen. I'd sit on a chair at a big table watching her cooking, and it smelt good. The farm is an industrial estate now. When I was about 5, we moved to a big town and lived near a busy, noisy highway. I started going to school there. It was called Packingham Consolidated, and kids came there from everywhere. There were hundreds of noisy kids and 4 grade prep classes. I didn't want to go outside at playtime when I first started. Everything seemed too big. The monkey bars, asphalt everywhere, and the big kids were yelling all over the place and really, really scary. That school isn't there anymore. Then we moved. This town was much smaller. There were less people and not too many cars. You could walk around that town with no worries. At one house we lived in, there was lots of bush nearby to play in. It smelt like eucalyptus leaves. The school there was old and red brick. It had its name carved into the hedge out the front. Bunyip School, it said. My classroom had a fireplace, and the windows only opened way up high with a long stick. There weren't many kids there, and they still used inkwells and fountain pens that scratched on the paper, and they were hard to write with. My son has always lived in the city. Sam likes having industrial things in his room. His room is different to the rest of the house. When I take him into op shops, he looks for robots and spacemen. But he does have a rock collection.